toy monkey?
It's evil. It's basically the devil.
Now stop me if you've heard this before, but horror? It's a pretty good genre for exploring trauma. It's a truism that Longlegs writer-director Osgood Perkins elevates with equal measures of nuance and brute force in The Monkey, an explosive, delightfully gory adaptation of the Stephen King short story of the same name. As a film, The Monkey shares much in common with its dastardly namesake. It has a wonderful, creepy design that belies complex mechanics working many levels beneath the surface. Is it any wonder that this was produced by James Wan, a man who's introduced us to a number of creepy puppets and playthings? A premise as deceptively simple as if you wind up the monkey, someone brutally dies, leaves a lot of room for error, or for the gnarly kills to be the only thing that anyone remembers. But from that setup, Perkins builds a multifaceted roller coaster of a midnight movie that elicits as many laughs as shocks or gross out gags, and succeeds at both animating and skewering the power that death holds over us all.
It must be vanquished.
Why don't you vanquish it, huh, Bill? Wait.
One of the hallmarks of King's horror, and why it's so rich and resonant for so many people, is how he juxtaposes dark subject matter with wholesome iconography. The dynamic invites examination of how and how often darkness and light coexist in everyday life. Perkins has an uncommonly strong grasp on this blend, which acts as the monkey's North Star. Tone is a hard thing to nail down in any genre, but for horror comedies especially, failing to create and maintain a strong voice that serves both genres can be lethal. Perkins honors King's work by keeping the humor and the carnage shoulder to shoulder for the entirety of the monkey's ripping 98 minutes. It's a tightrope he walks from the very beginning. The opening scene quickly demonstrates the threat at hand by way of a straight-faced airline pilot played by one of Hollywood's most reliable straight men, Adam Scott. The prologue begins with genuine tension as the captain insists that the monkey's evil should be taken seriously. Soon enough, someone's been killed by harpoon, and Scott is screaming into the night while doing fiery battle with the monkey. And my jaw was on the floor at that point. This sequence introduces the monkey's bizarre loose energy before the title even hits the screen, as the best opening scenes often do. When the monkey resurfaces in 1990s New England, the thin veil between life and death has become the driving force in the lives of the pilot's twin sons, Hal and Bill Shelburne. Hal is sensitive and quiet, Bill's a bully who really owns the fact that he's 2 minutes older than his brother. They're not exactly close, but both share a deep love for their vivacious mother Lois. Tatiana Maslany leaves a strong impression in the role. Lois's laid-back, frank outlook on life and death gives the boys a common framework for understanding the calamity brought about by the toy monkey they inherited from dear old dad. But it's not enough to keep them in each other's lives as they grow up and the torch of the dual role passes from Christian Convery to the gentleman's Theo James. The movie stumbles just a little through this transition. Neither Shelburne sibling is an especially deep character, with each serving more as a stand-in for different ways of relating to death, but James does provide Hal and Bill with real vulnerability that kept me invested in their quest to get that dang monkey to stop killing people. Hal's difficulty opening up to people and strained relationship with his son Petey shoulder the monkey's more gentle embrace of death and its costs, leaving the more anarchic and crunchy observations to Bill. Bill is by far the more showy of the two roles and the source of James's most entertaining scenes. Perkins supports the character's deadpan paranoia and arrested development with a Superman-inspired costume choice that is still making me laugh. It's an on-the-nose touch to remind both the character and the audience of just how damaging it can be to lose multiple loved ones to the whims of a cursed miniature percussionist. The monkey's centerpiece kills, heralded by calliope music that works like the Jaws theme, are frequent, goopy, and constantly entertaining. Perkins wisely doesn't bog the monkey down with much lore about the toy's origins or its bloodlust, instead letting its deeds speak for themselves. All this graphic mayhem gives the filmmaker ample opportunity to paint his sets with viscera and send body parts flying to all corners of the screen. But Perkins also demonstrates an excellent command of tone throughout these gruesome deaths, and they aren't all punchlines. While some of the kills are played squarely for laughs, a few are truly wrenching and effective reminders of the human stakes of the story. The deaths are usually so violent that they're over in a flash, which not only keeps the monkey humming along, but also reinforces its central notion that life is fragile. You never know when a hibachi knife is gonna fly through the air and end it all for you. Perkins keeps the fun going between these creative kills by populating the monkey with a bevy of colorful side characters who keep the movie's absurdist tone at the forefront. Ricky, the town burnout, a roving gang of girls who bully young Hal, a bafflingly stoner-coated priest, they all get standout moments. There's even a full cheerleading squad that celebrates a coroner taking a corpse out of a house. The kooks on the periphery of the Shelburne story all have unique voices that appropriately pose the question, what Stephen King book did you walk out of? It was Skeleton Crew, by the way. You'll recognize the little stinker on the cover.
Whoever controls it controls life and death.
The monkey marches to the beat of its own bloodstained drum, and it is an irresistible rhythm to groove to. Osgood Perkins and his cast balance the horror and comedy inherent in the movie's silly premise exceptionally well, and the surreal, absurd touches the Longlegs director adds to a world sketched out by Stephen King only help to set it apart from less imaginative, body count-obsessed movies. The evil influence of the titular cursed toy results in blockbuster showcases for fantastic gore effects that, when paired with the film's surprisingly gentle stance on the inevitability of death, affirm how potent horror comedy can be when executed with a strong perspective and a willingness to get weird. Thank you for watching. For more movie reviews, check out what we thought of Wolfman and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. For everything else, keep it right here on IGN.
Everything okay up there?
Yeah, everything's fine.